Well, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi again. We need to
There
name
we
her.
go.
Zumba. Zumba,
Ooh,
our friend.
Zumba.
Right?
Hmm. Okay.
I mean,
It's not saying
I'd
it
hang out
yet,
with her.
but
It's got to
come
be like,
on now.
got to be like Blade Runner 2049. Have you seen that
Hey,
movie?
hey,
Has
hey.
everybody seen
No,
Blade
I have
Runner
not seen that
2049?
movie.
Oh, have you
No,
seen the
no.
original Blade Runner?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I refuse to see the 2049. I can't do it. Can't do it.
I I think you should. I think it's a very, very good movie, and it does not harm the first
Oh,
film in
okay.
any way. No, it does not.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
it's really well done. I mean, it depends on what your belief about how the first movie should have ended anyway. Um, which I think that's its own set of controversy. I don't think the second film really has to. I don't know. I thought it was well done. Did they need to make a sequel? No, but
Wait.
you know,
I think we're good. We are live, my friend.
all right. It's always good to be live. Hello, hello, everyone out there. We're live. It's the Evan and Aaron
Hey.
show. It's my buddy Evan. I'm Aaron, and we like to get together and chat and talk about random shit. And as you heard, we were just talking about Blade Runner 2049. I recommend it. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay. No, that's fine, man. I still when I think about movies back in the day, man, I still think about Big Trouble in Little China. I'm just saying that is an overlooked quality movie, dude. Overlooked.
I can't. I don't know if I've seen that movie since
Really?
it came out. I think I
Oh
probably saw
wow.
it when it did come out. Um,
Wow, Kurt Russell at his best, dude.
I don't know, man. Escape from New York is peak,
Snake Plissken.
peak. Yeah,
That
Snake Plissken, and they
movie.
made a sequel like 20 years later that was totally unnecessary, and I think they're trying to make another one. Or I got to be honest, that'd be a hell of a movie to remake nowadays because with just
Ooh.
graphics and the you could retell it now and it
Right.
almost not necessarily be all that futuristic.
I'm gonna say if they do that, it's got to be I don't know. Leading guy that immediately came to my mind, Tom Hardy.
Oh, then do Escape from
Right?
London.
Not bad.
Do Escape from London so he can just keep his accent.
Ooh, there you
And that'd be
go.
badass. Because let's face it, you got to get across Tower Bridge. Same sort of thing. That'd be
And
awesome.
Idris is on a roll on the like with the bad guy roles, man. So like
He would
he'd be a
be
badass,
he'd
right?
be
Yeah, I
awesome in
mean,
the Isaac Hayes role.
yes.
Okay, you could definitely have a mean Harrison Ford as the president of the United States. He's played the president how many times
Oh,
now? You could subvert his role a little bit.
you you
Um,
could.
well,
Io,
I guess he was kidnapped, wasn't he?
right, yeah, yeah. But Io said, "Have y'all played Metal Gear Solid? Or have y'all played Metal Gear Solid? Right? The main character is ripped right from Escape from New York. I had no idea.
I have
I've never
not, unfortunately.
played Metal Gear. No, no, I haven't. Thanks for that, though. I appreciate it. All right, my friend. What, what's happening here? We're just riffing it, aren't we?
We are, and this is both the beauty and maybe sometimes the curse of this show. Which, folks, if you've seen a couple of our bumpers lately, we hit you up live, working from one of our favorite watering holes, the Butler location of the Chatham Tap.
Yep, yep,
Um, and as it said, we're on the grind. We're gonna make a few tweaks, a few changes to the show. Gonna tighten the focus up a little bit more. So those of you who enjoy the soccer ball, and especially the English soccer ball,
soccer ball.
you're probably gonna dig it. For those of you who don't, you're still gonna hear our absolutely beautiful voices just talking at you,
That's right.
which is good enough. Isn't that like as Evan's little post said the other day? It's like being there but not. And but anyway, we've got we're finally nailing down the details of it, and we'll let you know those when we have them. We'll probably just debut the show and let you check it out for yourselves. But we
There you
hope you're
go.
excited about it. We definitely are. I think it's gonna open up a lot of just avenues to reach a lot more people, and hopefully have a more guided approach. I mean, I love this, and it's serving the purpose, which was to just have pub chats.
Mhm.
And we're not trying to bring the news to you, but I think definitely our passion and focus lies with the footy, and we'll still be addressing some social issues, especially as the game itself addresses them. You've got the kick out racism program, you've got respect the referees, you got the rainbow laces for the LGBTQ plus community,
Mhm.
and a lot more initiatives than just that. So we'll be tying that in and talking about how that impacts the communities there and the communities around the world. So we hope you're excited about it. And to kind of keep up that theme, today was the final match day of the group stage of the Champions League. Teams obviously played yesterday, but today was the finale of those games. My Manchester United were already through, so our manager had the opportunity to make quite a few changes and let lot of young players get out there and show what they can do. Some good, some bad. It was definitely an uneven performance, which you would kind of expect to have. Definitely a few bright spots for some players, and it's just good to get some of the youngsters that typically sit on the bench and warm up in very cold weather in the Champions League and then never are seen again, a little bit of run. So we had Zidane Iqbal, Robbie Savage's son. I can't remember his first name, something Savage, and plenty of other youngsters out there. We had Ahmad, we had Shortire. So good opportunity. Game ended 1-1, probably the appropriate result. So I don't have a lot to go into on that.
I
We're
was
going
going
to
to say
put
you sound pretty okay with the way things turned out.
I'm totally fine. It's rare you have an opportunity to go into a match where the outcome absolutely does not matter. Um,
Mm.
we're already through and secured first place, so we weren't going to change anything at all. We've
Yeah.
got a run of I think 6 games in 13 days, and I believe this was the second of those, maybe the third. So
Yeah.
just a lot of games coming up in the next few days, so you got to rotate.
Mhm.
And Rangnick understands that, and I think he just wants to see everybody play. He's got a new team, and I think he's pleasantly surprised by what he's got. Um, I think you guys were in a similar position yesterday,
Yeah.
weren't you? That you had definitely
Yeah.
qualified. Were you
Yeah.
qualified as top of the group?
We were, but
Okay.
now we're. I mean, technically we're second. I guess you
Okay.
could
So
say.
you all right? You had
Yeah.
qualified, but the result
We're
ended up.
good. We're through. And you're right. I think we kind of did the same thing, which it'd be interesting to get the Chelsea fan, who is the 5 minute of infamy host with the most, uh, to kind of get Io's take on this. Um, I I thought starting Kepa, I mean Cape, you know, yes, go ahead, do that. Get the guy some reps, get him in there, and he made some great saves. He made some wonderful saves. There were some strikes that were absolutely, I mean, just well hit. Let's just say done probably about one of them. One of them maybe Mindy gets to, and then at the end, there's two things I want to talk about whenever it comes to
Hmm.
Chelsea. Number one, what Aaron, what is going on with our defense? I have no idea why we are allowing people to penetrate so far into our backfield. I don't understand why, because it killed us once again today. We literally had the points. We had the 3 points. We had it, and with 2 minutes left in extra time, 2 minutes left in extra time is when they scored, and it was just simply because of the same reason that they scored the first goal. We didn't clear it very well. We didn't clear the ball very well, and so I have no idea what's going on back there. Io, if you have any ideas, that's fine. But Aaron, did you have a chance to
I,
actually see the match at all?
I did not. Well, I guess you guys played before us, and I had it on in the background. And I got to be honest, I walked away from it because I thought you were in complete control of the match. When I saw how early you'd scored, I
Yeah.
didn't really think much of it. Um, so I am a little surprised, and this is where I'm going to have to, make sure I'm on it moving forward. Let's see. Let's go to the Champions League here. Um,
So while you're doing that, Io says, I'm actually okay with the results. Going to Russia to play Zenit is never easy. Actually, I think it was in single digits
oh,
today,
I'm
which is
sure.
kind of a heat wave there. But yeah, that can't be easy to play in. He said, I'm more worried about our midfield. Injuries are piling up. Interesting you mentioned midfield because later on in the show, we're going to be talking a little bit about that. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those this is one of those matches. Um, in just my opinion, we miss Conte. Huge, huge. I mean, huge.
Well, again, I would imagine, is Conte hurt, or do you think he was rested? Because um, I think your manager is very, very conscious of how many miles are on that odometer at this point. And I
Well,
think
sure.
he's really, really managing him because a healthy, fit Conte is an absolute game changer in any competition. And I think Tuchel probably weighed the value of playing him away in a very cold place in what was going to
Sure.
be a physical match in a game
Sure.
that you didn't necessarily have to win. I think he's got enough confidence in this team. Look, you're the holders of the cup. And I think he's got enough confidence in this team to say it doesn't matter if we go through first or second. You had to
Right.
expect Juve to beat Malmo today. Malmo's, minus 13 in goal differential, one draw, five losses. That's, they're fodder.
Right.
But so you drew the match today. Is that what happened?
Yeah. Three
Okay.
three.
Okay.
And like I said, it was it was messy. But and there's points where I agree with you, Io. I am not going to come out of my seat about this, but Werner scored 2 goals. Werner
Well,
and assisted with Lukaku's goal.
and what I will say about that is I'm glad that he's finally finding form when apparently he wants to come play for Ralph Rangnick at Manchester United.
There you go.
I don't know how true those rumors are. Apparently,
Oh,
a guy that he's putting on staff is really, really close with either Werner or his people or his agent or
sure.
whatever. So,
Right.
and it sounds like Abramovich wants to get rid of him, which is usually the way it goes. He gets bored with somebody or gets fed up, whatever. Um, I think the injuries are an issue. It was good to see Lukaku back, but
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, I think it isn't so much your defense; it's an overrun midfield at times. Because first off,
Mm-hmm.
there is no replacing N'Golo Kante. I don't know if
No,
Saul played today, but
he did.
I know that was the plan, was that he was your cup competition Kante, and he just really hasn't played as much as I think I would have
No.
expected. I don't know if he's been injured or he's just not adjusted. So that was a bit of a gamble because I mean, and it's not bad. I think you only took him on loan. I don't think you bought him,
Right.
but he's not really adding anything to you. If I was going to have one criticism of your defense, it's that occasionally it's just way too old. I mean, if
Mm. Mm.
if Dave and Tiago are on the field at the same time, I mean, they're getting the blue plate special at Jim Dandy in the 70th minute. Man, they're looking for an early
you
dinner.
know.
And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I love Dave. I love Dave.
Sure.
Tiago, not so much. Never been a huge fan. He's a hell of a
Oh,
player. Just um,
Tiago
but yeah,
Silva.
well, and that song is awesome.
I
Um,
know.
IO, I won't sleep on it. Women's FA Cup final between Chelsea and Arsenal. I didn't get to see it live. Did get to see some highlights, and as ever, I'm just gonna leave you with two words: Sam Kerr.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean
There you go.
that finish shouldn't really be able to be done. And honestly, about the only other person I've seen be able to hit that consistently in the men's game is Mo Salah.
Mm.
So if
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's I'm giving her props because I love the way she plays the game. She plays with passion.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's awesome. She played for us previously, but Reese James' sister, I can't remember her first name, but she moved to Chelsea as well. So I think it's kind of cool that they're both at that club together. And she's a childhood Chelsea fan. You know, go to your team. She played well for United. She's playing well for Chelsea. So props to them. Props to Chelsea winning the FA Cup. That's very cool. Um, Elsewhere,
Lauren
Barcelona.
James. Lauren James.
Lauren James, thank you. Elsewhere, I saw that the Atalanta and Villarreal game was snowed out, and I believe Bayern Munich absolutely strolled to a 2 or 3-0 victory over a Barcelona side that is going to be disappointed. But at the end of the day, I think they need to kind of close rank, huddle up as a team, and figure their identity out moving forward. It's Barcelona; they're going to be back. You
Yeah.
occasionally don't get through the group stage; it happens. I think every one of our
Yeah.
clubs has been there before. So
I think that obviously it's Barcelona. We were talking before. It's Barcelona, man. I mean, it's one of the most recognizable franchises
yeah,
on the,
for sure.
and you're going to have people. You're going to have players want to play for Barcelona. It
Hmm.
is very much a I won't even say rebuilding, reconstruction of who they are at this point. And I think that they are going to gain momentum as it goes on. And I think you brought up a really good point in the fact that less games you have to play is less wear and tear on some really really young guys who are coming up.
Hmm.
So I think that bodes well for the future.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes those games are a distraction, and I don't mean that about the Champions League as a distraction. I mean, there's not an expectation that your club's going to win, and obviously you want to go as far as you possibly can in any tournament, but Barcelona needs to focus on trying to haul in the top teams in Spain right now. They might need to
Yeah.
focus on how they're doing in the Copa del Rey. They're that club wasn't built to win the Champions League this year. They just don't have the players for it. But
Right.
they can still salvage the season. United have gotten off to a tough start.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a different boat, but it's the same sort of mentality. But I think for us, playing as many games as possible is what's more important, and it shows you where each team is in its sort of mental rebuilding. Barcelona's
Yeah.
in a much more fragile place, I think now. Rangnick's coming in. There's a plan, and I think he's pleasantly surprised by truly what is available. I think Javi's still trying to figure out exactly what it is that he's got on his hands, because some of those guys, I don't think are going to be there in a couple of years. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see what Piqué and Busquets are going to contribute. Danny Alves, you got to love a guy coming back to his club. Is he going
Mm-hmm.
to be able to really compete at that level and do what he wants?
Yeah.
Troy, they didn't even make the Europa League. They're out entirely,
Yeah, no, they're done,
which
done.
is even better.
Um, yeah, yeah. There you go. I still want to get back to. I don't know. It was good as a Chelsea fan.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to see Ross Barkley on the field today. I like seeing him on the pitch today. Um, did did not look even close to Barkley esque as he could. Obviously coming off of injuries and stuff like that, but it was just good, man. I was glad to see him get some. Glad to see him get some minutes. Um, but I'd like to once again. I'd like to hear what you have to say about this, though. But you know, he's he's 28,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got some guys behind him that are just incredible. You got Hudson Odoi. You've got, I mean, you got Ziyech and Mason Mount. Is Werner starting to come around? I don't know, but I mean, you've got so many of these guys
Mm-hmm.
that are playing at such a high level. For Barkley to miss that much and to come back is great, but I'm not sure he's long for the world of the Blues. I think that I think there's just too much for him to overcome as far as depth goes. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it depends on what kind of conversation he's had with Thomas Tuchel and how comfortable he is in his particular role at Chelsea. If Thomas Tuchel has sat him down and said, "Look, you are you can't stay healthy and you've got two or three guys ahead of you in this position. You're not going to get all that much time in the league. That said, you are in the pecking order. You can always play your way in to a spot, and you're going to get League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League. When we can afford it. You're going to be on the bench. He's a good veteran.
Yeah.
Ross Barkley, I liked him a lot when he was younger, and he's a victim of the English press. He's a victim of the English press saying, "Here's the next, Wayne Rooney or whatever." It's what they always do, and he never quite lived up to it. He had some good seasons at Everton, and then he's kind of had a journeyman career. I actually really thought him and Jack Grealish at Aston Villa were going to put together a really, really nice combo there in midfield. And for a brief period, they did. But, they're each somewhat injury prone. Barkley has demonstrated it just over the course of his career. That's a hindrance.
Yeah.
You're not a big priority for a team. But that said, if they've had that conversation and he's okay with it, being integral to Chelsea winning another FA Cup, playing throughout that, coming off the bench in the Champions League or playing in games like this. I don't know. I mean, if he recognizes the days of him being a superstar and playing for England
Yeah.
are gone and that this is his career, ain't a bad career, man. I mean, really.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that. And once again, I'd like to hear Io, anybody else would like to weigh in on this, Troy. Um, you know, I like Barkley. I like Barkley. Like you said, I like the fact that we have experience on the bench that can, come off the bench for, you know, for a while now. Chelsea has had that. We've had that availability of guys, coming off the bench who had been there, done that, and it proves itself to be useful. It really does. And when you have a team that is coming together, I really think it's coming together. West Ham this past week. Oh, I mean,
You got beat by an
mental
informed team.
mistakes.
You got beat by
What's that?
You got beat by an informed team too.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
like you fucked up at Norwich on a Tuesday night and it was snowy. West Ham
No.
showed up with a plan and they executed that plan, and you guys made the mistakes that will hurt you against a team that's informed like that. It's
Yeah, I
not
couldn't
something to get
believe.
too crazy about.
I know. But there was a little bit of time there where I was like, this is not, this is not Mindy. This is not him. This is not. It's got to be someone else. We make those mental mistakes, but I think that when you have veteran players, available on a team, they're able to come back and say, okay, look, lads, that was a one off. Let's just get back. Let's work.
Yep.
Let's get back to our form. And this was, I think that if we were able to see, which I agree with Tuchel, I agree with everyone he put in today. But I think if we were able to see our regular starting squad, I think you would have seen a lot more fire in them. I don't think this match would have been close at all. At all. I don't think it would have been close because
No.
I just got to believe that about this team. You don't go the first third of the season in first place without having some fire in your belly.
Well, Tuchel's going to come away from this game with, I think, two distinct thoughts. He went into it believing that he has the squad capable to go and get the result that they need in Zenit, but still rotate the squad knowing that they didn't have to win the game. He'll be disappointed that you had the result in hand and gave it away, but he'll also take all those players aside and give them an individual assessment about what they did well, what they didn't do well, and you've got an incredible team. You've been fighting for the league. You are the current holders. You're through. I mean, at this point, you don't fear drawing a first place team. And right now, I mean, think about it. Manchester United's a first place team. If you want to get us at any point in time, right? Because you
True.
probably don't want to play Manchester United 3 months from now.
No, no, you don't.
I mean,
No, you don't.
even if we're not like necessarily challenging for the title, I think Rangnick is going to bring a focus that Ole was not able to achieve, and this
Sure.
team just has too much talent to not be dangerous at times.
Yep. Yep.
What can they have consistency? I don't know.
Yeah. Io made a statement, and I'll let you read that because I have something to show real quick.
As bad as those mistakes were, I forgot about nearly all of them watching that Bayern Dortmund game later that day. Good Lord. Well, I don't know necessarily what you're commenting on there. It was an exciting game for sure. I think for a neutral and casual fan of the German Bundesliga, it's hard to come away from that game not thinking that there's a vested interest of keeping Bayern Munich in the top spot. That said, I think Bayern Munich are definitely a better team than Borussia Dortmund, but on the
Okay.
day,
Yeah.
Dortmund could have had a little bit more luck. I definitely think they were denied one, if not two penalties. I didn't see the handball necessarily, so I don't know. I've heard descriptions of it.
Dude, it was atrocious. I
You
will just
know,
go ahead and say it was atrocious.
Holland got another goal. I mean, it you got people got what they want out of the game. They got an exciting match of football and a definite classic, but there are just some things leave a bad taste in your mouth when you're like, wait a second, that seems obvious, and why doesn't it go to VAR? You know what?
Yeah.
Germany's one of the better leagues with VAR,
Hmm.
and really seem to ignore it.
Yeah. Io
Yes,
says no. It was a
Hummels
great
and
game.
Upamecano. Yes, yeah,
Almost.
absolutely.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not one. I'm not gonna go there too much with this, but yeah, I mean, the fact is that Dortmund played their ass off, and it was unfortunate that the calls didn't go their way. The yeah,
They were in it to
that's
the
all I'll
end.
say.
They were in it to the end despite the calls. Um, they had some opportunities. Honestly, I think one of the most egregious mistakes was the I think there was a couple minutes left in the game. It might have even been an injury time, and one of the Dortmund players tried a desperate bicycle kick, but they didn't make very good contact. But the Bayern defender just stayed up and big, and the ball clearly comes off that player's chest and goes out of bounds, and they called a goal kick.
Yeah,
And look, you got to win the game in regular time, but there's still time on the clock, and that was an incredibly bad and
that was not smart.
obvious call. The linesman is facing it, and the center had a good view. It just, I hate to see that kind of stuff,
Right.
in any game, and I probably lean Dortmund over Bayern. I don't really have a dog in the hunt because I enjoy watching both teams play. I like their styles. I like their managers. I like the players they've got. Looking forward to Erling Haaland wearing the red of Manchester United next season. Um,
Not so fast, my friend.
and
Not so fast.
they just churn out players.
Yeah.
It's tremendous to watch, and the German league is just so well followed. So
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
it's a shame that a game of that stature comes away, and we spend more talking about the calls than the quality of the play.
Very true. Very true. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached halftime of the Evan and Aaron show. I shall go ahead and take off the sad hat of Dortmund and go ahead and hand over to you your halftime shot, my friend. Who are you shooting to this halftime?
We usually call out individual people we know, or say thanks to a local bartender or friend, what have you. But yesterday is still a big event in American history, world history, and it gives pause for reflection. And I won't go too far, but I don't think it would take a whole lot for some similar events, some bad things to break out in the world. Um, so just I want to say thanks to the men and women that served and lost their lives on Pearl Harbor, and those who came after and did a tremendous job to reclaim the stature of this country. So um, Pearl Harbor is a day that will live in infamy, and we
Yep.
should never forget it. And salute to so many unfortunate lives lost.
Sláinte. Ooh.
Speaking of lives lost,
Okay.
um, you
Hmm.
know, part of I mean part of the reason we created this show was, crazy new virus came along, and it upended our lives, and we'll sure we'll touch on it at some point, but we'll have less focus on that as the show moves forward, because at this point, if you can hear my voice and you aren't vaccinated, then um, you I'm not going to change your mind. I'm not going to call you names. I'm not going to say anything about that other than
Can I call
I,
them names? Is that
you
okay?
can if you want, but I don't think there's any
Okay.
value in it. I don't want to,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they
yeah.
go low, we go high, man. It's unfortunate, and it's unfortunate that people are going to continue to lose their lives because they want to own the libtards. But the fact of the matter is, for the rest of us, that the
Did we just
variant,
lose you, Aaron, or did we lose me?
I still hear
Hmm.
you. If you
Let's
can,
see.
if you
I
can
do
hear
know
either of us,
Facebook
comment.
will tell the.
Who can tell us who is gone? Who is gone? Who is gone? Who can tell us who is gone? I've lost Evan entirely, so I have a feeling it's him. Nope. With legit reasons, I'm not going to pretend there aren't, but that's few and far between. I think I have a lot of opinions on it, and I think I've expressed it over the last year. Basically, what I was saying is, um, there's a new variant out there. We don't know a ton about it, but what we do know is that it's definitely more transmissible. We don't know if it's more impactful or not. But we have new studies that Pfizer says they think getting the booster is a lot better for you than just the two shots. When people are like saying that, oh, this is a money making thing, do you think that because you get a flu shot every fall? Like, we're still learning about this disease, this virus, and how it impacts us. And is the CDC going to be overly cautious? Yeah, months of protect. You've got 3 to 5,000. You could also fuck up your engine and have to buy a new car. Like, if you want to take that chance, you can. Fucking vaccines. You're still. If you could send somebody of this and whatever that test, hey, family for a month, so everybody get tested, right? That's money when people buy all the $1 billion defense bill. If ever says that, well, this is truly important that we have healthy soup. So you know what? And if you don't want, then and however many million. Sure. Well, we're about to fire the Postmaster General and get the U.S. Postal Service back on track. So then we can do what needs to be done with this. This this is why you collect taxes, why you have money for the common good. And is it poorly spent at times? Absolutely. But when you talk about what the government is supposed to do on behalf of its people, it's this kind of stuff. Because the private industry mobilize on this level. You simply cannot mobilize this level by the fact that the global supply chain is all fucked up. Give me one. That money. I'm good to go as long as you can still hear that you're happening on my. Are we good? Can you hear me? All right, I'm truly here. I promise you. It's not hologram, Aaron. Okay, tremendous question, and I think it's probably good to clarify that. Probably the way you're asking the question is in more of a 4-3 formation. So your midfielder has a lot more responsibility, covers a lot of ground, and I think the prototypical player nowadays is Kevin. It's free.
Yeah. Right.
They take your insurance just cause. You're still not paying for it. Look, they're talking about getting tests for everybody, which would be huge. If you could send somebody, if for the duration of this and whatever that means, you could send somebody a rapid test, in a family. Hey, family of 4, you get 20 tests for a month. So everybody can get tested once a week, and if they've tested positive, you can test them again a couple days later, right?
Yep.
Right. That's money well spent. When people talk about all this, how are we going to pay for it? Well, we just passed a $750 billion defense bill. How are we going to pay for it? Nobody ever says that. How are we going to pay for it? Well, this is truly important. Yeah, it's truly important that we have healthy citizenry too. So you know what? Get the vaccine if you can hear my voice. And if you don't want to get the vaccine, then don't. And I'm not going to worry about the however many million fewer people there are out there to vote a red hat next year.
Right. I'm just you sparked my interest, man. And there is like a 2-pack of tests on Amazon. It's iHealth COVID-19 antigen rapid test for $18. They're coming. I mean, they're out. They're already out. And
sure.
I think the key is making them convenient. And this, I don't know how much more convenient you can get. Like literally, they're going to drop it off at your door. I'm like, you don't even have to go out.
Well, we're about to fire the Postmaster
to
General and get the U.S. Postal Service back on track. So then we can do what needs to be done with this. This is why you collect taxes. This is why you have money for the common good. And is it poorly spent at times? Absolutely. But when you talk about what the government is supposed to do on behalf of its people, it's this kind of stuff. Because the private industry cannot mobilize on this level. You simply cannot mobilize on this level, evidenced by the fact that the global supply chain is all fucked up. So I don't know. I'm over it, and I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time talking about whether Chelsea's back line is better than Manchester United's offensive line than people who claim they'd take a bullet for this country but won't go get a shot.
Well, there you go. There you go. And that's a perfect segue. Introducing a kind of a new thing here. I'm excited about this part too. I had no idea about strategy. I'll be the first one to admit. But that experience got me interested in the beautiful game. And this is a segment that, you know what, quite frankly, I'm going to ask questions, Aaron. Some of you guys probably know the answers. But for those of you who don't, I think this is going to be a really good piece because, you don't have to be ashamed sitting at the pub watching a match and being like, I was wondering about this. And so tonight, what I wanted to ask
give me
you,
give me
Aaron,
one
was
second. Give me 1 second.
Okay, yeah, no problem, no problem. I'm going to ask Aaron questions about the game itself, and so that way, those of us who may not know as much can learn, and those of us who are more knowledgeable than the rest of us can actually chime in. So please use the chat. Please definitely chime in, get in there, and boost your knowledge. So, Aaron, you ready, bud?
Give me a second. I was just told that much like me, my internet connection is unstable. So I'm going old
no, that's
school
not
with
good.
the 6-pin hardwire. So we can get in
Oh,
there.
okay. There you go. Yeah, hardwired in, man. Okay, or just goose the hamster or something. Let's go, let's go. Um,
I'm
so
trying,
yeah,
baby. I'm
this is
trying.
going to be a part of the show where, like I said, you guys get to showcase your knowledge, get to showcase your knowledge, and I get to showcase my ignorance. But I am going to take one for team just getting to know the intricacies of soccer. So I will ask the soccer for dummies questions, and that way you guys can learn off of me. So I don't know. I feel like that's a noble thing. But is it noble for me to actually recognize that it's noble? I don't know. Who knows? Um, yeah, you just let me know when you're ready, Aaron. So,
I'm good to go, man. As long as you can still hear me. Crazy things are happening
oh,
on
so
my
you can
end,
hear
but
me.
are we good? Can you hear me?
I can, dude. I can still hear you. So,
All right. I'm truly here. I promise you. It's not hologram, Aaron.
question: the position of center midfielder. Okay, yeah, no, I know you're here. The position of center midfielder is a very interesting position. But in your opinion, number one, what should a center mid do well? And in the Premier League, who is, in your opinion, doing that the best right now?
Okay. Tremendous question. And I think it's probably good to clarify that the probably you're asking the formation midfielder has a lot and I think the prototypical player nowadays is Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay.
He's been injured over the last year or so. There's a lot of miles on him over the past few for sure.
Oh, thinking of. Oh, there you are. Are you back?
Yes, I am.
Yay! Awesome. Okay, keep
Okay,
going.
sorry. I'm not. What was the last thing you heard there?
He's got a lot of miles on him.
So
Kevin De Bruyne.
I'll get to it. Basically, I would say that the central midfielder it covers probably the most ground of anybody on the field. They need to be attacking and defensive. You hear the phrase box to box midfielder, and Kevin De Bruyne is truly that. He reminds me a lot of a Roger Federer. He glides across the field. He literally can do anything. His first touch is amazing. His first touch is evocative of Dennis Bergkamp or Dimitar Berbatov. Just tremendous technical ability. His weight on passes is incredible. His vision unlocks defenses, but he also quite willing to do the dirty work in Pep's system. He gets back defensively. You don't realize how big he is. You don't realize what a good athlete he is. He's probably, it pains me to say this, but he is Paul Scholes 2.0. He is everything that Paul Scholes was as a
Oh
player
boy.
and
That's
next
hard for a Mania
level
fan.
for what the game is asking. Do I think if Paul Scholes were playing the game as the way it is being played today that he could do it? Yes, I absolutely do. But the embodiment of that today in the Premier League is Kevin De Bruyne. Other players who are playing sort of that position, I mean, again, this is going to be an interesting discussion as we move forward because a lot of it has to do with the system that is being played. You know, is somebody gegenpressing? Is somebody counterattacking? Is somebody doing a blend of the two? Is somebody playing a much more just possession-based system? You know, what a number 10 does in the tradition in the what we think of with the tiki-taka role for Barcelona is vastly different than what the number 10 is going to be doing in a Jurgen Klopp gegenpressing system. But I'd say Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United is our version of the number 10. You look at other top clubs right now, I'd say, I don't think you guys employ a 10, Chelsea that is, in quite the
Okay.
same way. I think you platoon the role. The phrase false nine has been popular over the last few years. I'd almost say you guys play a false 10 because you have a lot of interchanging players. I'm looking forward to this conversation in a few months with Mark Wolfla because he's really going to have some thoughts on who your true playmaker is, and it's not
Yes.
Jorginho. But then you look at
Ooh.
at other leagues and how the position gets played, and that really brings in a lot more to it. But the core of the answer is that your central midfielder should probably be your best all-around player. And
Oh
that's
wow.
why
Wow.
historically they're the big names. Pele was number 10, Maradona number 10, Messi is number 10.
Mm.
Um, I think it'd be argued that when United were at their best in the late aughts there from about '07 to 12, 13, Wayne Rooney played more like a 10
Oh
than
wow.
anything else because of
Okay.
who he had around him. And it, this is a philosophical discussion rather than a scientific one, as far as I'm concerned, because the game changes. People come to it with these different ideas, and it's not nearly as rigid a system as it used to be. The numbers have meaning up to a point, but the second you change the formation or the second you recognize a need to overload one side versus another, then the responsibilities change. And let's that there's a whole chapter here on the Clockwork Orange from the 70s and how the Dutch changed international football and what it meant to play a particular position. So,
Hmm.
phenomenal question, but the simple answer is he should be the best player on the pitch, and right now, at times, that's Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay. Man, thank you so much, Aaron. And ladies and gentlemen, there is the I'm not sure what we're going to name that part, but it's a learning, a teaching moment. There you go.
I
Aaron's
love a
teaching
good
moment.
teachable moment.
There you go, teachable moment. So now, ladies and
Take a knee,
gentlemen,
gang.
that that brings us to my absolute favorite part of the show. It's the Hey Aaron segment of the show. And yes, we are in the throes of the holiday season. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw out some Christmas movies, and Aaron is just going to riff on these movies. I am looking forward to what you have to say about these Christmas movies. Some of them you may have seen, some of them you may not have seen, but have heard about. But this is from Rotten Tomatoes. So,
Am I back on camera, by the way?
oh my gosh, you are.
Okay.
Hey, there you are. It's a different
I'm on the
angle.
laptop cam, as you can see from the different angle. This is the action cam.
Oh wow, dude.
But
All
by the
right.
way, did you notice? I don't know how you get to particular soccer games, but I use the ESPN app for the German league, and
Yeah.
the the game between Dortmund and Bayern the other day had an option for a tactical cam, the overhead spider cam view. It's I I have two TVs in my basement, so
Okay.
I
Yeah.
could watch the game and then have tactical cam and kind of look over and be like, oh my god, look where
White
everybody is.
white privilege. White privilege. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, there's no rule about you having two TVs.
I'm just playing. Oh man.
All right, in
Tactical cam.
Indiana, black men are not allowed to have two TVs within 7 feet of one another. It's an obscure,
So it's back in the '60s.
Brown versus Board did nothing for that. God damn it.
Brown versus Vizio. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna throw out the name of a movie, and we're going to trash it, or you're going to just love it, man.
All right.
List it or love it. I guess that's kind of what we're doing. So
Dink it and
here
sink
we
it.
go. First movie, Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, absolute classic. There is, I love a good black and white movie because they use tone so well. Certain modern directors kind of get that, and you see them playing with it. But there's a lot of fun in a movie like that.
Yeah.
Heavy film for the holidays.
Sure. Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Absolutely.
settle in, but absolute classic.
Dude, the
Great
the
performances.
beard pool. Oh, that's so good. I just love
It's
that.
iconic.
Yeah, I mean it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Um The Preacher's Wife.
I think this is a movie that I've probably seen in 5-minute segments, but everything I've seen about it is really, really good. It's an uplifting film. It's wait, no, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Is Denzel
Yes.
and
Denzel, Whitney.
okay, Whitney. I was
Yeah.
gonna say uh she whipped 50 Cent's ass. What's her name? Angelica, not Angelica.
Oh, oh man.
Io, we need you to weigh in, buddy.
Oh man. Oh my gosh. It's right there.
I know, and
right
I
there,
want to
dude.
say Angelica Houston, and it's clearly not Angelica Houston. It's
It is. Oh my
she's
gosh.
fit. She's Stella got her groove back.
Here you go. Two middle-aged dudes trying to remember.
Right, and a middle-aged white dude trying to sort this one out.
Oh
I'm just gonna
God.
retire on this one. I'm gonna say it's a good film. It's a good film.
Okay. Very good. Very good, my friend. All right. Classic National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Uh-oh.
These are just absolutely humor-filled films. It's just I'm pretty sure they wrote these on the you've got to have a laugh or a beat every 7 minutes kind of thing. You got to keep people's attention, and they never fail. And Chevy Chase is one of the biggest prick comedians in Hollywood history. But damn it, does he know how to make movies like this? The whole cast. Look, Randy Quaid is maybe one of the craziest motherfuckers in all of Hollywood. He truly is.
Yeah.
He truly is. But
Yeah.
the way he does that role, the way they all come together,
Oh.
classic. And I'm sure that there's somebody out there who can pick some holes in it, from a political correctness standpoint.
Sure.
But-
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I think it's a funny film.
Awesome. All right. Scrooged from 1988. Scrooged.
First off, 1988. Man, I was going to go with 91. But I guess that makes some sense. Scrooged is I'm going to say it's an underrated Bill Murray film.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
But I love it. I absolutely love it. Again, there's probably some bits in it that would have to be changed to be I'm not going to say politically correct because I think there's value to political correctness. I'm going to say our culture
Yep.
would recognize slightly differently. Um,
Yep.
but at its core, I think it stayed true to what the point of the original was. A hard-hearted person needs to remember the value of love and happiness at holidays. And Bill Murray does a great job in that film. Really, it's
Yeah.
good. It's
Yeah.
good.
How about The Ref from 1994? Dennis Leary. Do you
That's
remember
a
this film?
holiday movie, isn't it? Yes, it's
Yeah.
holiday. It's holiday adjacent. I mean,
Yep.
Christmas is the reason for it. Oh wow, there are some. It's not a great movie. It really isn't. I don't think it. I don't think
I,
it's. I don't think it holds up when compared to some of these other movies that we're talking. I'm looking at you, but I know my camera's over here. I'm gonna have to. Get camera 3. Let's do the weather.
we need an intern, man. We
We
need an intern.
absolutely need an intern.
God.
Um,
Uh,
don't you have like a 16-year-old daughter that
oh
probably
yeah, I
knows
do. I
more than
do.
both of us about how to do
Yeah.
all of this stuff?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much,
Okay.
man. Yeah.
Kiara?
Oh, Danae.
Danae. I'm sorry.
Danae.
Kiara and
Yeah.
Kiana are the older two. Danae. Danae. It's an unpaid internship.
No, it's not. Come on, let's be honest.
Oh, well,
Yes, no, she owes me $564,000 for raising her so far. God, anybody?
oh,
but
she
the parent
did. You get
understands
braces? Did you get braces?
that. Right, right.
I was like,
Um,
I didn't get braces as a teenager, so I thought college is paid for, right?
yeah, no, not so much. Not so much. All right. Next one. I mean, I'm almost ashamed to say this because I think I know where you're going. A Charlie Brown Christmas.
I mean, for how long has this? I mean, this came out in 68,
65.
65.
65, dude.
Look, I love the Peanuts. Every one of them's great. He championed social issues from way, way back when. I mean, introduced one of the first black cartoon characters and even illustrated it in such a way I think the very first cartoon to be like, why is everybody sitting on the opposite side of the table from him? And it was an
Mhm.
opportunity to embrace diversity and inclusivity. Um, Charlie Brown Christmas, come on. Yeah, you
Yeah,
just
I know, man. I know. So,
also Snoopy Dance. I love Snoopy
Oh,
Dance, man.
there you go. All right. So almost total opposite. Bad Santa.
Also, totally un-PC. Funny. I look, if you've got the ability to just overlook being completely offended, watch the unrated version. There are some jokes that
Oh,
are
oh my God, man.
you either are okay with it or you're
Oh,
not, and it's look, I have issues with Dave Chappelle nowadays. I used to find him funny. Now I feel like I think he's tired. I think he's lazy.
okay.
But that
Okay.
doesn't mean he isn't also funny sometimes when those jokes
Sure.
are kind of offensive. Look, if you've got the stamina for it, watch the uncut version. It's
Oh my God,
most of the
man.
time an uncut version of a film is just poor editing.
Mhm.
This they knew some jokes were not gonna fly with
But they said, "Screw it. We'll
we're gonna
release
do
an
it. We're gonna do an
unedited."
uncut version. It's good. Also, I believe it's the last performance from John Ritter before he
Oh
passed,
wow. Oh,
and
I think you're right.
he is phenomenal in this film. He's absolutely
Yeah.
phenomenal in this film as the
Yeah.
he's the mall manager, the department store manager. He's so
Yes.
good. He's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, funny. Also, one of my favorite lines is at the very beginning of the movie. And if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert. And also, you waited 15 fucking years. So, but when Billy Bob Thornton says, "You can't drink for shit," and his
You
friend
knew you
goes,
were in.
"I'm 4'0", you motherfucker. Of course I can't drink for shit." I'm
knew you were
paraphrasing.
in
I
for a
don't have
ride
that
on that
perfectly
one.
down.
You knew you were in. Yeah, yeah. That was
Yeah.
2003. 2003, man.
So
No.
18 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Last one,
We've come so
and
far.
I know. Uh, this is going to create some controversy. All right, Io, see you, dude. Um, Die Hard.
Word are ya? Bye, kids. Die Hard. I
Die
mean,
Hard, man.
look, it has entered the pantheon of Christmas movies. It's Christmas as adjacent. It's a
Okay,
movie
that's what I
that,
was getting ready to ask you. Like, is it truly a
well,
Christmas movie?
uh, you know, uh, I was looking. There's an article about this recently, and it's a movie that is set around Christmas, and therefore, is it a Christmas movie? No, not in the same way that some others are, but the setting dictates it. The only reason he's there is because it's a Christmas party.
Hmm.
Christmas is what's going on. It's the setting for it. So while it's not Elf, it's a Christmas adjacent movie. It wouldn't work the same way. I mean, you could you could set it up with a different holiday, but it would then become a different movie. You wouldn't say ho ho ho. Now I have an Uzi motherfuckers, right?
or or um yippee ki
Well,
motherfucker.
that
I mean,
that line
you-
kind of works no matter what. But what I'm saying is that he's in town for the Christmas holiday. It
yeah,
it sets things up.
yeah,
I mean, look, it's wintertime in Die Hard too. When he goes back to the airport the next time. So
that's true.
they're
That is true.
recognizing what they're doing. There's a lot of movies like this. I mean, Love Actually doesn't need to be a Christmas movie, but it's a Christmas movie.
Wow. Well,
You could make
I
that
agree
movie
with you
around
on that.
Valentine's Day.
You could do that around Valentine's Day. You could do that around St. Patrick's Day. I mean, it it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. But you Die Hard without Christmas. I think
It changes the
I think
movie.
you're right. It changes the movie. It changes the movie. Alan Rickman is no longer there. I
Well,
don't think I
the
just
the plot lines of buying gifts for people, I mean, it's integral,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not a it's a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie.
There you go. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Hey Aaron segment for tonight. Thank you, Aaron, man. I appreciate it. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
glad that we came to the conclusion that Die Hard is in fact a
Oh,
Christmas
it is.
movie.
Yeah. I
So,
think that's a
ladies and
settled
gentlemen,
question for a long time. It's just how
it,
you want to interpret.
exactly. Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Exciting things coming
Mm-hmm.
along, coming down the pipe. I'm really excited about what's happening. Um, and Aaron, this is, like I said, my second favorite part of the show, dude. You get to send us out with your final thoughts. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is to you. God bless, whatever that may look like and however you worship. But Aaron, what do you got for us tonight, man?
Hey, I'm super excited about the direction of this show. It's been a pleasure to go about it the way we have been for damn near a year and I think 9 months now, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and look, we're not done with this. When you see how things unfold, it'll make more sense. We're merely expanding and focusing on something slightly different for a while. I think we've recognized that there's a lot of different directions you can go with this, and we just want to focus on a particular avenue for a while. We love that you all tune in, respond, give us some feedback, and we love that by and large we know you all and see you in public. We're just hoping to expand our reach, um, talk about some things that probably don't get as much airtime, with regard to the local soccer scene, and just the perspective. Looking out there, uh, I think there's a niche for us to talk about what we're going to be talking about. So if you got friends and family that are into soccer, definitely have them tune in. And when the time is calling for it, we're still going to be the Evan and Aaron show coming back to you. I'd love it if we never had to go on a march again to raise awareness for police brutality and police brutality toward a young black man. But unfortunately, I have a feeling it's not. So we'll be there for that too. But this is what we want to focus on for the time being, and we hope you'll be there for it, and we hope you'll tell others. And in the meantime, we've got a couple more shows that will be focused on this. I'm sure we'll be back next week with some. It's about time for 2021 year-end lists. So I have a
Yes.
feeling I'm
Yes.
gonna have some opinions.
Oh
Uh,
man.
Evan will have some opinions, and
Yep.
everybody
Yep.
else will have some opinions about 2021 year-end lists.
Oh
While
yeah.
I have the chance, I want to say that it is currently 42-27 IU over Wisconsin away. So
Ooh.
hopefully we can
Ooh.
get rid of this road hoodoo. Apparently, we have the longest road losing streak in the Big Ten to Wisconsin. Um, and uh,
What?
and I'm gonna say shout out to everybody. Doesn't matter if you're an IU fan, great. If you're not an IU fan, it's about time. I'm gonna pimp another local place that probably won't give us any money. But for a long time, we used to go to the Ale to watch IU play UK
Oh
and
yeah,
talk
yeah.
mad bullshit to UK fans. And it sucked because UK was better than us for a while. But UK wants no part of Woody, and they want no part of TJD. So in the meantime, we're going to beat up on Notre Dame. So come out and join us at the Ale Emporium next Saturday, 2:30 in the afternoon, to watch IU take on Notre Dame. It's the
Mm.
Crossroads Classic or something like that, and I believe there's
Oh yeah.
probably more Indiana games. I'm going to guess Purdue, Indiana State, Ball State, something. I don't know. I'll look it up. I'm not here to inform you. There's the Google for that shit. But we will be doing what we
Do
do
your
here.
homework.
Yeah, do your homework. Do your own research. But stay away from YouTube doctors. But we're gonna be having some fun. We're gonna be throwing down like we usually do. Join us if you want to. Drinks on me. Why not?
Ooh. Oh, well, there you go.
Why
There you
not?
go.
Why not? Hey, one love, everybody. This is gonna be fun moving forward. This is the 80th show.
Wow.
We're gonna have a few more. We're not
Wow.
gonna make it to 100, but we are gonna switch over to another format, and
Mm.
hopefully that goes to 1,000. So,
There you go.
Evan, my buddy, I love you. Everybody out there, I love you. Thanks for tuning in. And as ever,
Black people vote.
black people vote.